Yeah. Have you found, like, let's say, certain things relating to body image, where um, certain things that are able to kind of like um, knock someone off the track or like help them kind of like grab hold of the wheel or something like that? Like whether it's something like, let's say, thin privilege or like things that are able to help people grasp both the societal as well as like their relation to it.
Yeah, so there's one phrase in particular or idea that I love and I share with almost all of my young female clients, which is that the whole thing around like thinner is better, and the smaller you can be, the better. I get them to think about it as like that's literally like saying to a woman, the less space you take up, generally, the better. And so like physical space, literal physical space, but also emotional space or financial space or whatever. And so when I like when I highlight that for them and get them to see the toxicity of what we're saying to women is basically like take up as little room from a man as possible and let that even show in your physical body, like be as small as you can in your physical body. That's one that I think gets people a lot, where they're like, oh my goodness, that frames it, because women are so used to thinking the smaller I am, the less I weigh, the better. And when you illustrate how it's like it's not just about your physical body though, like it's about your whole being, and how much permission you have in society to fully express your being, that really shakes people, and they're like, oh my gosh, well, I'm going to think about that now every time I tell myself, oh, I wish I would lose 5 pounds, or like whatever it is.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
it's amazing and it's so palpable, like
Mm-hmm.
like when, for example, I remember a recent time when Heather, co-founder of Fair, also my partner,
Mm-hmm.
walking, let's see, we were walking in like, with the reopening and all that kind of stuff, we're kind of walking around in places where there are more people, and we're walking along the sidewalk, and there's this dude who's kind of like, taking up the entire sidewalk, and
Yeah.
he's on his phone or something like that. And we just unconsciously kind of like moved off to the side, like into the grass. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
as he passes by, there's that immediate reaction of like, why did we do that? It's
Yeah.
like we're also kicking ourselves, which is the part where, we're hard on ourselves for doing it. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it's like, of course it's so cool. It's not just like our bodies and like, but
Yes.
all that you're saying in terms of like the space that we take up in terms of our bodies, as well as like, and I'm thinking, let's say Heather as a white woman, or me, as a brown man, or something like that. It's kind of like, for whatever reason, the social scripts made it such that just unconsciously we just moved right off the sidewalk as this like dude just passes by. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally see what you're saying in terms of like bodies and society.
Yeah, and I think the other way that this plays out for me with young women is it's so much around like don't be too much. Don't be too big, don't be too much. And so that also shows up around like how well women are able to have boundaries, how well women are able to share their voice. Like if something's not working in a relationship, so much of the time women will want to really dull like the emotional experience that they're having, or appear chill, or appear like relaxed and calm, because again, that's the social script, like don't be too much woman. And that's also, that's a big thing for me too, is a theme in my work is kind of like talking to clients about feminine and masculine energy, because I'm a very spiritual person, and the feminine can be very wild. So like that's like this trope that we have in society of like, oh, that woman shared that she wasn't okay with something, well now she's a bitch. Like now because she shared a boundary and whatever, she's now labeled this horrible person who was too much. So it all follows the same patriarchal thing of like, just don't take up too much space, like don't be too much woman, don't have too much emotion, don't have a body that's going to get noticed. And yeah, it's all part and parcel of the same thing for me.